Chosen one, stop scrolling. This is not just another video. This is a divine appointment. You didn't stumble here by chance. Heaven led you. Every word you are about to hear is a confirmation, a whisper from eternity, a sign that you are being called higher. You have felt the stirring inside, the restless nights, the dreams that shake you awake, the sense that something is coming, but you cannot yet name it. This message is the key. You are not ordinary. You have been marked since birth. The reason your battles were heavier, the reason your storms were stronger, the reason your heart has carried weight others cannot understand is because you are chosen. Listen closely. God has been speaking to you in ways the world cannot interpret, and the dreams you've been having are not random pictures of the night. They are spiritual tests. They are the language of heaven, designed to prepare you for your divine assignment. In this message, I will reveal 5 dreams that come only to the chosen ones, 5 spiritual signs that you are being tested, and I need you to stay with me until the very end, because the last dream is the one most overlooked, but it is the most important. It is the key that unlocks everything, so breathe, open your spirit, and let the fire of revelation fall upon you. If your soul feels the weight of this word, pause right now. Like this video as an act of faith. Subscribe so you never miss a divine confirmation. And in the comments, type the number 777, the number of alignment, the sign that you are ready to walk in divine order. Chosen one, the test has already begun, and your dreams are the map. Let us begin with the first dream. The dream of falling, you know it well. That sudden drop in the night. Your heart pounds, your body jerks awake, and for a moment you feel suspended between earth and eternity. This is not just a dream. It is heaven shaking you awake, asking, "Will you trust me when everything feels out of control?" The dream of falling comes because your path is not like others. Others cling to stability, but you are called to leap into faith. And faith often feels like falling. Remember Peter. The storm was raging, the boat was shaking, yet Jesus walked on water. Peter stepped out. He stood on the impossible. But when fear entered, he began to sink. Immediately, Jesus reached out and caught him. Why did you doubt? Matthew 14:31. Chosen one. The dream of falling is not punishment. It is a test. Heaven asks, will you believe when the ground disappears? Your relationships may crumble. Finances slip, plans collapse. Your heart whispers, what if I fail? What if I fall? But hear this, even if you stumble, you are not forsaken. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. Psalm 37:24. This dream is the shaking of foundations, the tearing down of false securities. Because God does not want you resting on shaky ground. He wants you resting in his arms. The fall feels violent, but in the spirit it is a call to surrender, to let go, to trust the unseen hand beneath you. Think of Joseph. One moment in a coat of many colors, the next thrown into a pit. What looked like a fall was the doorway to destiny. What seems like chaos is often God lowering you into transformation. Some of you dream of falling endlessly, no bottom, no landing. This reveals the deeper test, patience. You cry, when will I land? But the endless fall stretches your trust. Faith is not holding on to answers. It is holding on to him. Yes, the fall strips you. It empties you. But it awakens you to walk by faith, not sight. Your survival is proof. Even when you felt like plummeting, you were carried. What you thought was the end was only the beginning. So next time you dream of falling, wake not in fear, but in faith. Say aloud, even in the fall, I am held. Even in descent, I am secure. I will not be abandoned, for I am chosen. The dream of falling comes first because it opens the doorway to every other test. The question is not, will you fall? The question is, will you trust the one who catches you? Because after the fall comes the fire. The second dream comes not as a fall, but as fire. You see flames rising, consuming what you once held dear, sometimes even yourself. Do not fear. This is not a curse. It is a test. The dream of fire is heaven's way of showing what cannot remain. In God's hands, fire is never destruction. It is purification. The holy furnace that reveals truth and burns away what is false. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Thrown into the blazing furnace, yet not consumed. Inside the fire, a fourth figure walked with them, the Son of God himself. When they came out, not even the smell of smoke remained. Daniel 3:27. Chosen one, when you dream of fire, you are in the furnace of refinement, not destroyed but purified, not abandoned but prepared. Think of gold. Its beauty appears only after the fire. Impurities hide until heat exposes them, so it is with you. The flames in your dream mirror your trials, betrayals, disappointments, endless struggles. But the fire is not meant to consume you, only what cannot stay. Relationships that ended, jobs that slipped away, comforts that burned to ash. These were weights. The fire removed them. Do you not remember the burning bush? It burned, but was not consumed. And from the fire, God spoke, Moses, Moses, Exodus 3:4. The fire became encounter. Your dream of fire is both test and invitation. Step into it without fear. Discover that what burns was never your identity. What remains will shine like gold. You may ask, why does it hurt? Why does everything I love feel taken from me? Because God cannot fill hands still clutching ashes. He must empty them to place what truly belongs. Yes, the fire feels like loss, but in truth, it is gain. For after every burning comes new growth. After fire, new life. Isaiah 43:2 promises, when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. You will walk through it, not around it. Because fire is not to be avoided, it is to be endured. And on the other side, you emerge stronger, freer, glowing with His presence. So next time you dream of fire, wake not in fear, but in faith. Whisper, this fire is not my end. It is my refinement. I am gold in the hands of the refiner. If you feel this word burning within, pause. Like this message as a prophetic act, declare in the comments, I will not fear the fire, because when you declare it, you tell both heaven and hell your faith will endure the heat. And remember, if the fire tests endurance, what do you think the waters will test? Because after the fire comes the flood. The third dream comes not as a fall, nor as fire, but as water. Sometimes gentle waves, sometimes overwhelming floods. At times you swim, other times you drown, waking in fear, your spirit trembling. This is not random, it is a test. The test of surrender. Water cleanses, carries, overwhelms resistance, but flows with those who yield. So heaven asks, will you resist my flow or surrender to it? Think of Noah. The flood destroyed the world but lifted the ark higher. What drowned others carried him. The difference was not the water, but the vessel. Noah had the ark. You have Christ. Flood dreams come when trust is tested. Bills rise. Responsibilities pile like waves. You cry, Lord, I can't hold it all. And He whispers, you were never meant to. Surrender, yield, let the waters carry you. But sometimes you thrash in the dream. Lungs ache, arms fight. This reveals resistance, the part of you still trying to control. And the current only grows stronger, because the water is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The sooner you release, the sooner you rise. Remember Israel at the Red Sea. Pharaoh behind. Impossibility ahead. Yet Moses stretched his hand, and the waters parted. The Israelites went through the sea on dry ground. Exodus 14:22. What should have drowned them became their pathway. Tidal waves in your dream mean overwhelming change. Heaven is resetting your life. The wave looks terrifying, but it is a divine beginning. For when the enemy comes like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. Isaiah 59:19. The flood is also warfare, but no tide of darkness can drown the one who walks with God. So next time you dream of water, do not wake in terror, wake in surrender. Say, I will not resist the waters. I will ride the current of His will. I will trust the tide of His Spirit. If this word speaks to you, pause. Like this message. Subscribe so you never miss heaven's signs. In the comments, declare, I will trust the waters. But listen closely. If the flood tests surrender, the wilderness tests something deeper. Because the waters come to move you, but the wilderness comes to strip you. And after the flood comes the desert. The fourth dream is not of falling fire or floods. It is the dream of wilderness. You find yourself in barren land, a desert with no road, no direction. You wander endlessly, waking with a heavy heart, feeling lost. But this dream is not punishment. It is a test, the test of identity and patience. The wilderness strips distractions. It silences every voice until only His remains. And heaven asks, do you know who you are when everything else is taken away? Remember Israel, delivered with miracles, yet led into the wilderness. Deuteronomy 8:2 says, the Lord led you 40 years in the wilderness, to humble and test you, to know what was in your heart. Chosen one, silence is not absence. The desert reveals what you truly believe. Think of Jesus. Before miracles, before the cross, He was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Matthew 4:1-2. It was not a mistake. It was preparation. The furnace of identity. When you dream of deserts, God is asking, do you know you are chosen even when you feel forgotten, loved even when alone, guided even when no path is visible? The wilderness strips illusions, no water but His word, no bread but His presence, no direction but His Spirit. And there your soul learns trust. Many wake from this dream in fear. You say, Lord, I feel lost. I see no way forward. But listen, this desert is not your grave. It is your classroom. Not where you die, but where you are refined. Psalm 23:4 reminds you, even though I walk through the valley, you are with me. Your rod and staff comfort me. Even in wilderness, His presence surrounds you. Isolation is not rejection. It is protection. Friends may leave, doors may close, but this is not defeat. It is God sanctifying you for greater. Think of Elijah under the broom tree, weary and alone. Yet heaven sent bread and water, provision in the wilderness. So when you dream of deserts, wake not in despair, but in revelation. Say, this wilderness is not the end of me. It is the making of me. If this word stirs you, pause. Like this message. Subscribe, so you never walk this journey alone. And in the comments type, I will endure the wilderness. Yes, the silence feels heavy, but it is in silence you hear His whisper. In emptiness you discover His fullness, for the wilderness is where chosen ones are formed. But listen closely. If the wilderness tests identity, the next dream tests destiny. Because after the wilderness comes the light. The fifth dream is unlike the others. It is not falling. It is not fire. It is not flood. It is not wilderness. It is light. In this dream, you see a brightness that cannot be described. Sometimes it is a flash, sometimes a blinding radiance, sometimes a figure shining with glory. And you wake with trembling, because you know this was not imagination. This was encounter. The dream of light is not ordinary. It is the ultimate test, the test of calling. Remember Saul on the road to Damascus, a persecutor of Christians, a man with power and authority. But suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground, blinded by glory, undone by truth. And he heard the voice of Jesus say, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Acts 26:13-16 tells us, About noon, O king, as I was on the road, I saw a light from heaven, brighter than the sun, blazing around me and my companions. We all fell to the ground, and I heard a voice saying to me, I am Jesus whom you are persecuting. Now get up and stand on your feet. I have appeared to you to appoint you as a servant and as a witness. When you dream of light, heaven is not just comforting you. Heaven is commissioning you. This dream does not come to everyone. It comes to those set apart. It comes to those marked for divine assignment. The light dream tests your readiness. Because when the light comes, there is no going back. Your old life cannot remain. Your old habits cannot stay. Your old fears must die. It is the test of becoming. The test of stepping into who you were always meant to be. Think of Moses on Mount Sinai. He went up, and the mountain shook with fire and cloud. But it was the light of God's glory that marked him forever. When he came down, his face shone so brightly that the Israelites could not even look at him. The light changes you, chosen one. It marks you outwardly with the inner fire of heaven. And yet, the dream of light also reveals a choice. Because light exposes. It shows you what is hidden. It shines into the corners of your soul where shadows still linger. In that moment, you must decide, will you hide or will you step forward? Will you shrink or will you shine? John 1:5 says, "The light shines in the darkness and the darkness has not overcome it." Chosen one, the light has come to you in dreams because you are meant to walk in it while awake. Not everyone will understand. Not everyone will accept it. But you were never called to blend in. You were called to shine. This dream is the most powerful test because it demands surrender of your entire being. It asks you, are you ready to carry the mantle? Are you ready to live as one who is set apart? Are you ready to be misunderstood, rejected, opposed, and yet unstoppable? The dream of light is heaven saying, the time is now. No more delay, no more hiding. You are being awakened into destiny. When this dream comes, you may feel both fear and awe. Do not run from it. Do not dismiss it. Bow before it. Receive it, because it is the clearest sign that your assignment is being activated. And here is the mystery. The dream of light often comes after the hardest seasons, after the falls, after the fires, after the floods, after the wilderness, because only then are you ready. Only then are you humbled enough to carry the weight of glory. Only then can the vessel hold the oil. So if you have dreamed of light, know this. You are not being tested for survival anymore. You are being tested for destiny. This is not about whether you will make it. This is about whether you will rise into who you truly are. Pause with me here. If you feel the fire of this word in your spirit, take action now. Like this message as a sign of alignment. Subscribe so you do not miss the next prophetic confirmation. And in the comments, declare boldly, I am ready for the light. Because speaking it breaks hesitation and seals the revelation. But listen closely. This is not the end of the message. Because if the light is the calling, then the conclusion is the commissioning. The revelation you have been waiting for since the very beginning. Because after the light comes the destiny. You have walked with me through the journey of dreams, the falling, the fire, the floods, the wilderness, and finally the light. Do you see it now? These were never random images in the night. They were the language of heaven. They were the map of your transformation. Every dream was a test. Every test was preparation. Every preparation was pointing you toward this moment. The falling stripped you of control. The fire purified you of weight. The floods taught you surrender. The wilderness shaped your identity. And the light revealed your destiny. All of it was not punishment. It was positioning. It was the hand of God shaping His chosen one, shaping you. Hear me clearly. Your survival was never random. Your pain was never wasted. Your loneliness was never meaningless. Heaven has been orchestrating every detail to align you with purpose. Romans 8:28 declares, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. You are the fulfillment of that promise. All things have been working together. All things have been shaping you. Even the things that broke you, especially the things that broke you. And now comes the revelation, the final truth I promised you from the very beginning. It is this: Your dreams are not only tests, they are also confirmations. They confirm that you are chosen. They confirm that you are called. They confirm that you are not ordinary. This is your commissioning moment. Heaven is not asking you to survive anymore. Heaven is calling you to walk in authority. You have been through the fall. You have stood in the fire. You have endured the flood. You have wandered the wilderness. You have seen the light. And now, you are ready. Say it aloud with me now. I am a chosen one. I am prepared. I am aligned with heaven's will. I walk in light. I walk in purpose. I walk in destiny. Let us seal this word in prayer. Father, I lift every chosen one listening to the sound of this message. I declare strength for their journey. I declare courage for their calling. I declare peace for their storms. Let their dreams no longer confuse them, but confirm them. Seal them with your light. Mark them with your fire. Carry them in your flood of mercy. Sustain them in the wilderness, and guide them into their destiny. In the name of Jesus, it is done. Amen. Chosen one, if this word has spoken to your soul, do not leave without sealing it in action. Like this message as a prophetic act of agreement. Subscribe so you never miss another divine confirmation. And in the comments, type these words, I am ready. Because when you speak it, you release it. When you declare it, you step into it. This is not entertainment. This is alignment. This is destiny. This is your moment. Chosen one, rise. Your time has come.